controlled, and then I was like, oh my gosh, wait, this is a fire. And it was raining too. So that's why it was kind of all happening all at once. And there was not a soul around me, not one other car. That's kind of why I was like, okay, I gotta call and just make sure.
The fire department arrived and quickly put out the fire.
And what does the library mean to you and your family?
So we love the library. It's a great place for us to come and bring books. My kids love finding all the different craft, and he loves sports, football books.
How the fire started is still under investigation. Mayor Osteler is grateful the flames did not spread.
So the fire appears to be over our children's section.
What does the damage look like inside the library?
So they were concerned that maybe the fire had moved inside the walls, but luckily, probably other than some smoke damage, you will not see a lot of burning areas inside the library.
Were there any books that were damaged and lost in this fire?
We do have an area probably where some water got into some of the books. Those books were mainly over in the storage area of our children's library.
The amount of damages is still being calculated, but the mayor estimates repairing and replacing some of the material could be in the thousands. Reporting from Highland, Leslie Duarte, KUTV 2 News.
Ashley Buzzard, a California woman accused of leaving her daughter's dead body in rural Utah, is getting ready for next week's court appearance. 2 News' Samantha Hoffman is digging into what happened to 9-year-old Melodee Buzzard in the moments leading up to her death.
At Ashley Buzzard's Lompoc home, candles sit in remembrance of Melodee.
It's been crazy. There's been people driving past, leaving flowers and leaving stuffed animals outside. Some people just driving past and sitting there for a few minutes. Yeah, there's been a lot of traffic there for sure.
Lompoc resident Christiana Valry believes Ashley's arrest was a long time coming.
She knew that they were coming, she just didn't know when. But the fact that she came out with her heels and her pants.
Valry says Melodee's disappearance struck her as a mother and wants to see justice.
I just hope that she gets the highest form of a discipline at this point, because it's sad. How do you do this to your child? Any child, but your own child. It's very sickening.
She says while this was a horrible outcome to hear, she's felt like she knew Melodee must be gone, and even brought it up with Ashley during her November arrest for false imprisonment.
I felt like Melodee's not with us anymore. Because why would she go there with Melodee and then not come back with her? It just didn't. And it was before she was getting into the car, and I said, Ashley, I know what you did. I know that you killed your daughter. And she looked at me and gave me the deepest stare in my eyes, and then turned around and got in the car.
Valerie is helping organize a community memorial for Melodee in Lompoc, California on February 14th. You can hear more from her on the KUTV YouTube special, Up Now. In St. George, Samantha Hoffman, KUTV 2 News.
Tonight, a Box Elder County Sheriff's Office deputy who was injured in a shooting that left 2 Tremont and Garland police officers dead shares more about that shooting. On August 17th, Sergeant Lee Sorensen and Officer Eric Estrada were shot and killed while responding to a domestic violence call. Deputy Mike Allred and K-9 Azula were also shot but survived. And today, Deputy Allred announced plans to run for Box Elder County Sheriff. He shared details of that shooting, his recovery, and the support from the community during his announcement. Take a listen.
To the students and the children who have sent me drawings and handwritten cards, thank you. I keep all of them in several 3-inch 3-ring binders. When I'm having a rough day, I'll thumb through those binders and remember that I have a ton of support out there in the community. I would also like to personally thank my friend Tim Kennedy, who self-dispatched that night. You see, Tim listened to his gut and felt that something was wrong. Tim was able to get Azula out of the vehicle and noticed that she was injured. Tim did not hesitate and called in a bird, Life Flight, to take Azula to the vet so she could get the care that she needed. Shane Bragger arrived and was able to place handcuffs on the shooter and take him into custody safely. And to the Johnstons, came upon a horrible scene and by the grace of God were able to take the gun away from the shooter and remain calm until help arrived. You are all heroes.
The current Box-Elder County Sheriff, Kevin Potter, is expected to run for re-election. Deputy Allred says he expects both of them to do their jobs professionally while running competing campaigns. You can read more on Deputy Allred's announcement on our website, KUTV.com. We're taking an exclusive look back at Kyle Whittingham's legacy at the University of Utah. We caught up with Kyle and his wife, Jamie, to see how football impacts their personal lives. Our Annika John shows us the challenges that they face running a family while coaching a team.
I think I can speak for just about every coach that we put more pressure on ourselves than anything externally ever could. You know, we're driven, we're competitive. That's why we're in the profession we're in. And so even though, yeah, you certainly want to put a good product out there for your fans, and our fans have been great here. We have great fans at Utah, very supportive. We've sold that stadium out for 3 or 4 or 5 years in a row, and so that's obviously a big part of it. But like I said, the internal pressure that coaches put on themselves is far greater than anything else from the outside.
Kyle and Jamie Whittingham met as high school sweethearts. They married in 1983. Together, they have 4 children and 10 grandchildren. Every year, Jamie helps Kyle manage the toll of a college football season alongside family life.
As you're going through the game, you know, if it ends up a loss, you know, I am thinking, oh my gosh, this week is going to be really hard, and thinking what I can do to help him. And because, I mean, he's good because he helps the players, you know, keep focused and keep positive and stuff. And so, you know, he doesn't need a lot, but I guess just the psychologist part of me, you know, tries to help him.
Coach says he does his best to make sure he's not grumpy after a loss.
My wife says I am, but I don't feel like I am, but she says it definitely is noticeable. But I try my best to leave football at the office, and when I get home, be able to separate that. And I think that, you know, my own personal point of view is I think I do a pretty good job of that. But you know, when things aren't going well, it can't help but have an impact in other areas.
Between coaching, recruiting, and traveling, Jamie says the life of a coach's wife can be lonely. It's taught her she can do challenging things.
The highest of highs and the lowest of lows. I think as a coach's wife, you really have to learn to do stuff by yourself. You know, you are alone a lot. I take care of the yard, take care of the house, take care of, you know, any little thing that happens. And one of the kids would get in a car wreck or something, and it's like, it's you. I call the insurance to get it fixed. He never knows it happened. You know, you just take care of things.
I got a great family and a great wife, and there's you know, there's 2 kinds of coaches' wives, great ones and exes, and that's about it. You know, there is no in between, because it's so it requires such a sacrifice from your wife and from your family that they got to be special people, and I'm fortunate to have those people around me.
They help each other and their family cope with such a demanding job.
This is a great time for us, and we're going to celebrate.
It's so easy to forget that, you know, one year you win, and then the next year you don't have enough wins, and you know, it's all about the wins. And I see the good that he does, and you know, not everybody knows that, and really his job is football, and so that's what they care about. But you know, it's all about family and, you know, who he is inside, and you know, your relationships with other people.
Both consider Utah home.
Great to be in a situation where there you know, people being excited and cordial, you know, to see you, and you know, it's better than having them shoot spit wads at you or something, you know. So I guess right now there, you know, it's a something that is part of the deal. It comes with the territory. But, you know, like I said, our fans and the community here have been great and treated us very well in this program.
Growing up here, it's everything. I mean, I don't think we can go anywhere without someone saying hello to Kyle. And, you know, he's always so nice, and just the community is great, and we love skiing, we love boating, you know, we love Utah.
And you can watch our exclusive full story on former head coach Kyle Whittingham, his legacy at the U, and how the deaths of 2 players changed his program over on the 2 News YouTube page. And still to come on Arc Salt Lake, intimate insight into kissing, the history behind locking lips and why humans aren't the only animals who do it. We'll be right back. Welcome back. If you rang in the new year with a kiss, you took part in a tradition millions of years in the making. Scientists now say the origins of kissing date back much farther than most people think. Tina Kraus has a story.
Kiss me once.
It's the classic romantic moment on the big screen, and sometimes just as unforgettable in real life.
Go on then.
Tony and Christine Lewis still remember their first kiss in England.
Oh yeah, it was quite romantic, and 40 years later we're still here, so that's pretty good.
It turns out the tradition of locking lips isn't just for people.
So if they're kissing after an argument...
Evolutionary biologist Dr. Matilda Brindle says kissing is surprisingly common in the animal world.
Gorillas, chimpanzees, bonobos and orangutans all seem to kiss at least some of the time. And this extends even past the primates as well. So you have animals like polar bears or prairie dogs, and even albatrosses kiss each other.
A new UK study suggests kissing dates back more than 21 million years, and that Neanderthals, our ancient human relatives, probably did it too. Dr. Brindle says with no obvious survival or reproductive benefit, the shared habit remains an evolutionary mystery.
It's really not a very hygienic behavior, is it? You're literally sharing your saliva with another individual. We know that we can transmit diseases that way. And that actually, to me, just makes it all the more compelling that this is an evolved trait.
British researchers hope this intimate insight will spark more studies into why we and so many other animals kiss. Until then, couples say they'll keep puckering up, no matter what science says. Tina Krause, CBS News, London.
If you're headed into the backcountry to take advantage of the fresh powder falling in the mountains, be careful out there. Things aren't bad right now, but conditions will be very dangerous over the weekend. Avalanche forecasters say it's important to ski in groups and have the proper equipment just in case you trigger a snowslide. For your safety, everyone is asked to avoid the backcountry until further notice. And with snow falling in the mountains, UDOT says its snowplow drivers will be out keeping canyon roads clear. If you see a plow, UDOT is asking you to keep your distance and avoid passing them so that drivers have the room that they need to work. And the winter weather is also having an impact on our pets. While many dogs like to play in the snow, owners need to make sure that animals don't spend more than 10 minutes outside at a time. Our four-legged friends might have more fur than we do, but that doesn't mean that they won't get cold. Like people, they're vulnerable to things like frostbite and hypothermia. Animals' paws, ears, and noses are the most vulnerable to cold.
Cold weather can be very dangerous for animals. If it's below 20 degrees, you know, if you have little booties that you can put on your dog's feet, use those.
Best Friends Animal Society says many types of salt and ice melt are toxic for dogs, so make sure you wipe your pet's paws after a long walk outside. And speaking of snow and cold, let's head over to meteorologist Chase Thomason with our first alert forecast.
Over the last 36 hours, some pretty decent mountain snowfall, finally, with that heavy wet snow at those ski resorts, really depending on your elevation, but mid-mountain and higher picking up anywhere between about 5 to 15 inches. Alta, the big winner at 15, just over a foot. At Brighton, Solitude, and Snowbird, Park City Mountain 9, and Deer Valley 7 inches of snow. And more snow at the mountain resorts it's in the forecast, so this is good news because we definitely need it for our industry, our ski industry, and also because of our snowpack, our drinking water. Right now it's sitting at 61% of median, which is near historic low levels. But with our latest storm, it did jump up 4%. So there is some good news on the horizon, is that number could be continued to go up with 2 more storms in the forecast over the next 7 days. Now tonight we're dry. We still have a little bit of cloud cover out there. Those overnight lows will be dipping into the mid to upper 30s along the Wasatch Front, which is mild for January. It's above freezing. We'll be in the 20s though in those mountain valleys and across northeastern Utah, and St. George tonight at 40 degrees. Tomorrow in St. George you're jumping up to 56, but we'll have that cloud cover. It's still pretty mild, and there will be lots of 50s along the I-15 corridor, so a very mild day. These temperatures are about 15 degrees above average. A little bit cooler though in northeastern Utah with highs in the low 40s for your Saturday. Dry though in between, a bit of a break ahead of our next storm that rolls in Saturday night. On and off showers through Monday night, but I think the main event will likely be Monday morning. It's kind of coming out in pieces, a little disorganized, but we're going to see some decent totals, I think, especially here in northern Utah. So here we are by tomorrow afternoon. There's the cloud cover, but we're pretty much quiet. A few showers, though, beginning to roll in. It's not widespread, mainly some light rain Saturday night, and those snow levels will be pretty high this weekend at about 8,000 feet. So there's that rain midday, a few showers for northern Utah, and maybe later in the afternoon on Sunday, some spotty showers in southwestern Utah. But here comes that main event. By Monday morning, it really begins to fill in, and those snow levels could drop to about 7,000 feet on Monday. So some of our mountain valleys like Park City might see a little bit of snow. But take a look. This computer model might be overdoing it, but I think 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 inch in southeastern and northeastern Utah, with over 1/2 inch in northern Utah. If we're going to get over 1 inch of rain, which would be pretty decent for us, that could happen, especially north of Salt Lake City. Depending on your elevation, big play on those snow totals. Above 7,000 feet, about 1 to 6 inches. But those mountains in northern Utah above 8,500 feet could see 6 to 16 inches with that storm by Monday night. Little rain on and off St. George Sunday into Monday. Temperatures in the mid-50s. We do have a second storm that moves in that has some colder air. We'll drop into the 40s by Thursday, and we'll get a little bit more rain Wednesday and Thursday in southern Utah. Salt Lake, we're in the 50s this weekend, and then we drop into the 40s Monday, Tuesday. With that second storm, we have rain changing to snow and highs near freezing by the end of next week.
A donkey in Georgia is now a world record holder. Hope broke the Guinness World Record for the world's longest ears on a living donkey. She was rescued from Arkansas and came to her owner, Hannah Frost, extremely underweight.
She is the sweetest, most stoic donkey. Whenever she arrived, she was actually pretty depressed and pretty shut down. And as you can see, she's very outgoing. She's kind of got her personality back.
We love that. Hannah's vet first noticed the length of Hope's ears, which got her doing some research. She looked into it and found that both ears actually beat the former record holders by about 5 centimeters. According to the credentials section on the Guinness World Records website, Hope's record long ears were officially verified on December 22nd. Go Hope. And trending tonight in California, hundreds of people took to the plunge at Santa Barbara's Polar Dip. The crowd rushed into the Pacific Ocean at Ledbetter Beach to welcome 2026 with a chilly challenge. Last year, organizers didn't have enough time to raise the money needed to cover city permit requirements, but this year an anonymous donor provided the roughly $4,000 needed for this. Looks fun and cold. Well, the new year is kicking off with a couple of big celestial events. The first is a wolf moon, which will grace the sky this weekend. The wolf moon is 2026's first supermoon. That is when the moon appears larger than usual. The full moon's light will make it harder to see the second event, the quadranted meteor shower. The meteor shower will reach peak activity tomorrow evening. Astronomers say the shower will be active through January 16th, so keep your eyes to the skies. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great night.